Okay, we're live. We're live.
Hello.
Hello. So, yeah, we're here. This is the third live show that we've been doing in this read along for the Fire and Thorns series. So we've all just read The Bitter Kingdom. And oh my God, hang on, I can hear myself in a different tab. Fix it. Okay, so firstly, should we go around and say like what our rating was and what our sum up our initial thoughts? Should we do that first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
sure.
go first. I feel like I've got a controversial opinion a little bit. I feel like Nicole.
I feel like you do.
Okay, so I gave it so on Goodreads I gave it 4 stars, but I think it's like a 3.75.
Oh no.
I think it was my least favorite out of the series so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Okay, I don't want to say much more than that because we'll get into it. But yeah, that's my. I still really liked it. I still think it's a great series, really consistent series. But yeah, probably my least favorite so far.
Okay, for me,
I think
it was my most favorite in the series, and I ended up giving it 5 stars. I did read it more than a month ago, so we'll see if I remember stuff correctly. But I actually really did like this, more than the Crown of Embers. But yeah, I'm excited to hear why you didn't like it as much.
Okay, Nicole.
You gotta say your name, Ishi, in your channel.
Oh, sorry, I'm Ishi from the channel Ishi Time.
Hi, I'm Nicole from the channel Nicole and Her Books, and this was a reread. So the first time I gave it 5 stars. This time I gave it 4.75. I still really, really like it, but one thing I noticed was there was a lot of characters who were kind of significant for one book, so like Cosme or like Tristan, and then they weren't really relevant at all again, and I kind of wanted more of them because when I was thinking back on it, they were kind of just there to serve the plot. You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll get into that, but that was kind of my one kind of thing because they kind of made a little appearance in the last book. It was literally like a page. But no, I still really love it. I think I might know why you don't like it, Meg. I'm interested to find out if that's so. Yeah, so that's kind of it.
I'm Simone from the channel Chasing Pages, and I just finished it this morning, so I don't really have a solidified rating. I think it's my least favorite too, out of all of them. So I think I'm leaning more towards like a 3 stars. But I mean, I still liked it. It just was my least favorite. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was way faster than the other books. I don't know why, but I just read it a lot faster than the other ones. But yeah.
That's interesting. We have a divide.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Oh my God, I feel like we're gonna have a debate.
This is good.
So then should we in case there's anyone here who hasn't read it, should we just have like a mini, because it's quite difficult to be non-spoilery because it's like the third book in the series. So should we just maybe talk about first whether we think it was like a good ending to the series? Do you know what I mean?
And the other thing I was thinking we should talk about is, do you think it's an underrated series? Because I personally think it is.
Yeah, so let's talk about those and then we can get into spoilers. So what should we go with first? Should we go with whether it's underrated? Yeah. I think it's an underrated series.
Yeah, me
I had
too.
never heard about it until you asked if I wanted to do this. I'd never heard about it.
Yeah.
I would never have read it if it wasn't for this. Because I just don't think it would have been on my radar, and I don't think
no one talks about it.
Yeah, and I think even if I heard the synopsis, I don't know if I would have read it. Do you know what I mean? I think because with fantasy books, especially YA fantasy, sometimes it takes a lot of hype to get me to read something. and this wouldn't have had that. So yeah, I think it's definitely a very underrated. But I'm so happy. Like whenever I'm talking in vlogs about it, I'm like, thank God Nicole asked me to do this, because I feel like it's such a good, like, solid YA fantasy series, like so much better than some of the other hyped up like fantasy trilogies that are out there. So
I didn't think of this until we started doing this read along, but it is so similar to the Grishaverse, like the Grisha trilogy.
Yeah,
and I personally think it's better. Like I like this better. But I'm really surprised by how similar it is, and I didn't pick that up the first time I read it, or like when I read the Grisha trilogy, but until now.
Katie says she definitely agrees it's an underrated series, especially for the time it was written. I agree.
Because it was written back in 2012-ish.
The first book was 2011, and I think the last book came out in 2013.
For some reason, I remember seeing it a lot of places, like during that time period. I don't think anyone was talking about it, but I remember seeing it a lot and like wanting to read it. Like I would go to the library all the time, and I would see it and be like, "Oh, I should read that," and I never did. But yeah, I don't know why I remember seeing it everywhere, but I just do.
I don't even remember how I came across it. I think it came up in my Amazon like recommended on my Kindle or something, and that's how I read it. I can't remember.
And so do we think it was a good ending to the series? Did it finish off? I mean, we'll get more into this when we go spoilers, but do we think like what's what I'm looking for?
Were you satisfied?
Were you satisfied? Did it like finish off all the like plot points that you wanted finished off, etc.?
See, when I first read it, I was so satisfied. I thought it was one of the best endings. But this time round, like I really liked what happened with Elisa and her journey. But like I said, with like a lot of the other characters, I had questions with them. And like the fact that we didn't really get an ending for them, I really feel like they were there to serve the plot most of the time.
I agree with that too, because I thought Elisa and her ending, like I loved it and I was satisfied with it, but I feel like it just ended, like I don't know, like it ended too like happily ever after vibes, but we didn't really get to see where all the other characters ended up. And actually, while I was reading this book, I didn't think that this was the last book. Like I thought this was the third one, and then the other one was the fourth. So I didn't know it was like the fourth was a standalone. So I thought this book would continue on. So that was why I was like a bit okay with the ending, because I figured we'd find out more about the side characters in the next book. But when I found out that this was actually the last in the trilogy, I kind of thought the same thing, that we didn't get to see enough of like Cosme and like whether Storm, you know, no spoilers, but like we just didn't find out enough about the side characters.
It definitely ended really abruptly for me, because I feel like I didn't realize I was at the end of the book until I was reading the last few pages, and I was like, oh, this is the ending. So,
and you read the ebook too, so you didn't.
So I was not expecting it to be so fast, and I mean, I feel like it was kind of a little bit satisfying, but I do wish that she did like wrap up more storylines that were in there.
Okay, should we get into spoilers now?
Yes.
Okay, what should we talk about first?
I want to know why you didn't like it as much as us.
Okay. Tell me why you think I didn't like it.
I think you weren't satisfied with the like reveal of the Godstone and stuff, and also the
and also what?
And also like the ending as well. I think.
See, I actually really liked the ending.
Okay.
I loved the last quarter of it. Like I liked that it sped up. I found the first half of it so slow. Like I was like. I felt slow. I felt like we were setting up. I feel like the last book in a series should always tie up everything, right? Like it should be about like tying this up, like all the different plot points. But I felt like we were creating new issues, and I was just like, how do we have room to do that in the last book? Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, we're traveling again. So yeah, I think that was like. Just I didn't feel connected to it in the same way I felt connected to the other two. Like I just felt a bit like I was forcing myself to read it at some points, but I still think it was well written. But just like the whole going to find Hector, and then we travel to the like, I'm really bad at all the names, but the city where she gets captured.
Storm's homeland.
Yeah, Storm's homeland. Like I felt like that was so fast. Like that happened so quick.
Yeah.
And I would have like.
Did you like that?
What, that it happened quick?
Yeah, like going to Storm City and stuff.
I liked going there, but I think if we go there, we should have spent more time there. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like to just visit one building, like pop in, pop out, like it kind of felt a bit like, I wanted more from that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I was gonna ask everyone like at a separate point what we all thought about the Godstone part, because I was kind of skimming that section. I was like da, 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 and then suddenly I was like, hang on, what? What is going on? Because I just thought she was going a bit crazy or something. Like I thought it all got on too much. I was like, wait, this is what we're doing. So yeah, that was why I didn't like it as much. What about you, Simone? Why didn't you like it as much?
Yeah, I didn't like it for the reasons, because the second book is my favorite one.
Same.
And the first book is my second favorite, so it's like that. And I think it's because of the traveling and the fact that it was going really fast, because they kept going to place, and that's most of the reason why the first book wasn't my favorite. So this one on top of that, and then the really fast solution at the end that I feel like could have been dragged out more. Yeah, just those together, just I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. I agree with Katie that I loved all the characters. Like I think the characters throughout are so good. Like each of the characters we meet, but I was just like, more traveling, guys.
I love the traveling. Like, I think for me, so like I was obsessed with Zelda as a kid. You know the video game. Like we had the old Nintendo 64, and like most of that is like traveling to all these different lands. So for me, that's like my definition of fantasy, and that's where my love of fantasy comes from. So to have it in a book is just like ideal. Like I love it.
See,
but I can see where you get drained of it.
I love the bits where she's like in her.
Yeah,
like they were my favorite bits. Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? That we like there's different parts of it.
I do like that too, but I think there's just something about like traveling that really gets me. Yeah.
Okay, should we talk about the Godstone bit, because we kind of touched on it? What did we all think of the Godstone falling out?
See, I loved it because it was okay. I've talked about this a bit. I thought it was so unpredictable, and I love when books are unpredictable and kind of it just wasn't what I expected. And I kind of also liked how this whole time the Godstone and what she was going to do was built up to be this like huge thing, this like huge world life-changing thing, and ended up being something so small. And then I love the bit afterwards when Hector's like, oh, everything you've done up until now was actually you. It wasn't the Godstone. It wasn't what you were destined to do. So I really loved that and the message there.
Yeah.
See, I was a bit disappointed because I didn't expect it to just fall out. And it just felt so like it just felt so separate from everything else we've read about so far in the series, that they're just kind of randomly in the middle of the desert, like digging up an oasis, and a stone falls out. Like it had nothing to do with anything. I was so confused.
Yeah. I actually didn't mind, like, although I was skimming it up to the point where until I realized what was actually happening. I didn't mind it because I kind of liked that it was a big, like, almost like a middle finger to the expectations that she's gonna have to like do something crazy. Like it was like, no, her what's the word? I'm really bad at finding my words tonight. Like her goal, her whatever she's like destined to do is actually this smaller thing, and she's like accomplished all these other big things like of her own accord, like not she's not destined to do that. It's just something she's like risen to and done. So I kind of liked that it was something small, but when that happened at that point of story, I was like, where are we going from here? Like what more is there to do? But yeah, I don't know, like I feel like maybe there should have been a bit more build up to it, almost, because like I said, I really didn't realize what was happening until she was like, oh, plop, oh, it just came out. I was like, wait. But yeah, I kind of liked it. It was something small, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it was really underwhelming, but definitely unexpected. But I feel like it could have been something more like significant because the fact that all of the books were based on the stone, like she was doing all of these things because she felt that the stone was as important, like it was her destiny. I feel like it could have done something more than just be something insignificant when basically the whole series was about it. But yeah.
What did Katie say? I really like Godstone, but showed how you can change the world in small ways, make it do different. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I was also wondering. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I wasn't going to say anything.
I was wondering if the oasis that they found together would actually be significant in the next book somehow, or in like the standalone.
Oh, that's a good theory. Yeah.
I think when me and Nicole were talking earlier, and we should definitely like get into our theories for the predictions for the next book. But yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. That's a good point.
But because you know how was it the first book, and it's like the tiled in the tiled bathroom, and she uses that to save her. So and that's from a previous bearer. So it's like it is something significant, but not like in your lifetime. Like you don't know what it is.
Yeah. Because I guess I don't know. So is it going to be significant in her lifetime?
Well, yeah, because that's still her lifetime then. Like the next.
I don't know. I just said I just pulled the lifetime bit out of nowhere.
No, but I think for most of them, like it was something they did which had a big impact, like years down the line.
Yeah,
most of them. So I don't know. That would be interesting if it is.
But I love that. Like I love how it's like you don't know, the ripple effect of what you're gonna do. Like has. Like I just
and I also enjoyed how everything she does after her godstone falls out, like that's honestly like gonna make history at some point in their world. But I love the fact that she did that all without her godstone at all. So that was fun to read.
Yeah, I loved when Hector said that. That's like one of my favorite moments.
Well, what did we all think then? What did we think of her and Hector's relationship in this one? Were we happy with how it all turned out?
Like, okay, so yes, but I really liked the dynamic where she was like, I could order you to marry me. And I kind of wanted that to play out a little bit more. But then at the same time, they were in this like life and death situation. I don't think they were going to get that picky,
Yeah. Well, I was really worried. Like, I wanted them to just be fine. Like, I just wanted this to be sorted out. We're going to get married. Like, that's what I wanted. But that they kind of like were resolved halfway through the book. Like, they were fine. They were good. They were just waiting to bang, basically. And so I was worried. I was really worried that something was going to happen with her and Storm out of the blue and like sabotage this whole thing. Because I remember in our last live show.
Storm.
No. I remember in our last live show, I was saying how I thought this guy was old, and you guys were like, no, he's young, and you and Ishi were like, because of oh no, we have to keep that secret. So I was like, shit, I was like, nah. I don't want this. I don't want this. So I was worried that she was gonna like cheat with Storm, and so I would just spend half the book worrying about that. So I'm very happy that didn't happen.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I can't remember what we were talking about.
I assume it was because of the sister, like because he fancies the sister and gets, So like once that happened, I was like, okay, okay, we're good. But I was just worried because
that was at like the end of the book.
I was worried up until then. It's like everything said, like, me and Storm have gone from enemies to to
Friends.
kind of friends. I was like, oh, they're setting it up. They're setting it up. They're gonna go some more. I was so
Oh my goodness.
but it was fun in the end. So
Did you end up liking him?
I tolerated him. No, I did like him. I did like him by this book. But I had to keep forcing myself to imagine him not old and like
Not like
smoky. I had to keep going. No, that's not right. Think again. And even now, I kind of think of him. I just can't help it. That's just how I imagine him.
I don't know where you got that from.
I don't know. I just
Maybe
thought
it was just
old.
like the silvery hair that you're just probably thought he was old.
Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, what did everyone else think of their relationship?
I liked it. Like I love Hector and I liked it. But I also wanted more.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. What did you think, Simone?
I liked it, I guess.
Really?
I mean, okay, so I haven't been like so like gung ho on their relationship from the start. I mean, I think they're cute, but like I feel like the ending was just too perfect for their like relationship because they went through so much, and I feel like it was just like, oh, okay, this book they're just going to be together the whole time and just it's gonna all work out. I kind of wanted something else to be thrown in there to kind of throw it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was cute. I'll just say it was cute. I'll just say that.
After I realized that the Storm affair wasn't going to happen, I was then worried that I was like, oh, one of them's going to die. One of them's definitely going to die. Or like they're both going to die. And that's why we can't, that's why the next book isn't following them. I was convinced, like when at the end of the chapter, when she walks into the room and she sees that, I forget all the guys' names, like the evil guys' names, but when she like all her soldiers go through the wardrobe and then she thinks that they've like defeated the guys in the room and then she's like, oh no, it's them, they're there. I was like, oh, she's gonna die, and then Hector's gonna die in another place. So I was happy that didn't happen.
See, I thought Hector was gonna die for sure.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of wanted the drama, but at the same time, I am happy that it didn't happen. But like,
yeah, me too.
What did we think? Okay, here's an issue I had. I feel like I'm just moaning about the book. I promise I liked it a lot. Okay, so I understand that it's a YA book, right? Okay, but we've spent 2 books building up, like, she hasn't been afraid to talk about sex or like lust or like taking birth control or whatever, and then when we finally get there, it's fade to black. You couldn't give me a little bit. Like, I normally don't care about romance, about sex scenes, whatever. Like, I don't care, but I just feel like the whole plot has been her wanting to like get in there. Do you know what I mean? That's been what it's
I sort of think with that though, it's a book of its time. I think if it was written now, it would have it. But back then, everything was so still like Twilight phase, really childish kind of, not childish, but juvenile. You know what I mean? Like the romance is juvenile.
Yeah. But I feel like the book was so unusual in the fact that it wasn't skirting around sex.
Yeah.
Like, it was really open about it throughout the whole book. And then when we actually get to it, like, it doesn't.
That didn't bother me. I really loved how she talked about her body in that scene, because, you know, at the beginning she was so like sort of ashamed of herself, and then she was really like, I really loved how she was happy with her own skin and she could show herself to Hector, and yeah,
I agree on that. I just, you know,
you wanted your smut.
I just feel like he's like built up to it. Like, you've just, you know, it's been building up and up, and then
Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else can we talk about? What other big stuff can we talk about?
Going back to the Godstone, what did you think of how they kept the bearer before Elisa captive and used him? Thoughts? Were you expecting that, or did you like it, or I completely forgot about that until it happened.
Yeah, so I liked that. Like I thought that was really interesting, like a really interesting concept. And it was like I felt very sad. Well, I suppose you're supposed to feel sad for him, but I felt very sad for him. But like I wish we could have maybe gone into, I don't know how we would have gone into more depth on that. But I just feel like it needed to, if it's gonna happen, like, it should play a bigger role in the story. I know it played a fairly big role in the story, but I feel like because this book, all of these books almost have like loads of mini climaxes. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of, rather than having a beginning, middle, and end, it's almost like it has 3 beginning, middle, and ends for like different points in the story, I feel like. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted it to be a bigger part of the story. But what do you guys think?
I definitely wanted to learn more about him and just even how they used him, like what they used him for. I feel like that wasn't really explained. I know there'd been a war going on for a really long time, but like they've been keeping the bearers for a really long time. And the way they said there was 2 bearers who came willing, and like I don't know, I feel like we didn't get to learn enough about the power. Like there were a lot of questions there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like I think if you're gonna do it, go into more depth. Because
I agree with you guys. I feel like they could have went in depth with like the history, because I feel like they were using the past as a means in the future instead of actually going into depth with the history, at least for that part. But yeah, they definitely could have gone deeper with that.
Is she thinking?
I just think it's funny how the book had first Elisa rescuing Hector and then Hector rescuing Elisa.
I loved that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. I did like the storyline though, and I do agree with everything you said about wanting to know more, because I feel like it was such a big, like around the beginning of the book where they were traveling, where Hector was traveling as prisoner to Invierne. There was the whole like there's another bearer, and it was like this whole thing. And when we got there, it wasn't as like, I don't know, it didn't seem as big a plot point as it should have been. I thought that was going to be the end of the book, you know?
Yeah, wait, you just reminded me of something that they kept saying, oh, there's another bearer. Yeah. And then like it kind of, was he the other bearer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even clock that. Like I just kind of forgot about Whoops. Yeah, again, like I feel like that should have been like, I guess like a bigger thing. I don't know. I just remembered the whole tunnel section. Like I had forgotten about that until this moment, and I only finished the book yesterday. But yeah, I just completely forgot about the bit in the tunnels. What? That's so weird.
I don't honestly, I didn't see the point of the tunnel scenes. I feel like the only thing that happened in there was that Storm's sister died, but like was it necessary for her to die in those tunnels? Like she could have died anywhere, you know? Like what was the point of having those like the tunnels?
And we'd only just met her.
Yeah.
And then he was upset about it for a little bit, but then it didn't really have a big impact on the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was a bit of a throwaway.
Yeah.
It would have been more impactful if like Berlin or Mara or someone like them died.
Yeah. I feel like she was a little bit afraid in the kind of like in this book to kill people off.
Yeah, like she got attached to it.
Yeah, like I feel like people should have died. Like some characters should have died. Because obviously they're like, oh, there's this big war, like, or no, we're going to go in and this is going to be so hard. And then like no one died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like I feel like she obviously...
didn't hold back in book 1 about killing people.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
book 1, everyone was like, you know. And then by this one, I feel like she was almost afraid to do it. Like, I feel like I reckon in one of the drafts, Belin died, like because he almost dies.
I reckon Mara might have died because she got burned. Remember again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So I just feel like it didn't feel high stakes enough because like there were almost no repercussions for anything that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got a yawn. I'm gonna do it off camera.
I have a question. What did you guys think of having Hector's POVs? Because there weren't many of them.
Okay, I like them.
Yeah.
I really like them. But they also like I like them. I think there should have been more.
Yeah, that was my one thing. It kind of felt a bit
like convenient
like
to
half
have.
done. Yeah, because there weren't that many.
Yeah, I feel like it was nice because we got to see like what was happening on the other side, but also it was like only a few of them, and if they could have made it like every other chapter, if you were going to make it the dual POV, it should have been like either every other chapter or every other couple chapters, just to make it kind of cohesive, because sometimes it would just be like, oh, Hector, I haven't heard his perspective in like 20 chapters, and it was just like, it was nice to see what was going on, but it was just like, it would be even more interesting to not know what was going on and then kind of find out and it be kind of a surprise, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like she was like, I need to tell the story of some things that are happening, like whilst they're apart. How do I do that? Just chuck a POV in. Do you know, it was like a means to an end, like for the story to go where she wanted it to go. So yeah, when I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, I like having Hector's POV. But when you look at it more critically, you're like, why is that actually there when we haven't had any multiple POVs like throughout this series? It's like a bit of a weird choice when you think about it.
Yeah.
Should we talk about, like, Nicole, you mentioned this, like characters only being in the book for one.
Yeah, so I thought that about Cosme and Tristan, and even Felix, Hector's brother, because he was literally only there to like take them to the island and back.
Oh, that was.
That's it.
And I forgot about him.
Yeah, see? And like when they showed up in the last book, and I remember Elisa saw them again, and even her sister, she was like, oh, you know, I want to try and spend time with them, but she literally says hi and walks off, and that's it. And it's like, okay, so those characters really were only there to serve the plot. Like, they were interesting, and I wanted to learn more about them. So I'm not saying they were flat characters, but like at the same time, they didn't have their own storyline, or you know, they could very much be replaceable.
I thought that about Red.
Same.
Like in this
I
book.
loved Red though.
Yeah, I liked the addition of Red, but it is also a bit, I mean, I suppose you're probably setting up for the next book, and that's why I read.
Well, but was she planning the next book back then?
I don't think she's planning the next book.
Yeah, neither.
Really?
No.
Yeah, because
I feel like
so
I can
long.
see it. Well,
wait, is it following Red in the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Red's the main character. Yeah.
I didn't read the summary. Oh wait, I'm really excited because I really like her.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I really love Red, but when she first joined the little group of people going north, I was like, is this kid really just gonna become the main character now? I was like, what? Like, it just seemed so unnecessary to have her there. And, like, okay, I love her, so I feel conflicted, but at the same time, like, if you take Red out of the book, like, it would have been the same, you know what I mean? Like, more or less.
Yeah. It is a bit of a weird addition. Like, when she was like, oh, we're gonna buy her, I was like, hang on. This is not a practical decision, you know, like, you can't spread the food even further.
I think again there needed to be more explanation, because they kind of talked about slavery, like with her, like just touched on it, and they talked about how the two different races, you know, did intermingle and have kids. But it's only like, again, it was very lightly touched upon, never really deeply explored in any depth, which I think to give like Red's character more, I guess, validation that needed to be done.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I was reading it that she was thinking like, oh, I'm going to set up a potential book. Well, even thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to write that book, but just giving herself the option, you know? But for me, like, I really missed Cosme after she left the series. Like, I feel like she was such an impactful character. Like, more so than Mara. Like, I almost see Cosme as a bigger part of the series than Mara, even though Mara's in 2 books, like, heavily. And so I think what she does in the series is she does a really good job of getting you each character that she introduces you to, but then when they're removed, you're kind of like, so what was that for?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly how I felt at the end of this, which I didn't notice first time around I read it. Because the first time I read it, I literally binged it all in 2 days. So it kind of all blurred into one book. This time around, I was able to kind of think individually on each book and like what was done and what was done poorly. And
yeah, it definitely is a very binge-worthy series though. Like I read them all in like a day, 2 days, which like I don't usually do with fantasy books like that. But yeah, what has Katie said? I think I would have liked more development from the side characters. I really like Belinda and Mara's relationship. Yeah, I was unsure of their relationship at the beginning because I was like, hang on, he was with Cosme, but then by this book, I was like, I was fine with it. I was into it.
And they talked about how Mara lost her virginity to him, and she just went off. But I liked him at the end, and I like how she kept going, "Will you marry me?" And she kept going, "No." And
it
was kind of a cute banter.
I liked their relationship. Do we think Red will have a romance with Rosario?
That's what I want.
Yes,
That's what I want
too.
Yeah, I think it's been set up. Like, I think it has to happen.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
If they don't have a romance, I reckon they'll have that or a brother-sister relationship. Which either I'm down for.
Yeah. Because they probably would have grown up together in some capacity. So it might be a bit weird for it to be a romance. Like if you've grown up with, like I think
Rosario is Elisa's like stepson.
Yeah.
Right? And then if she's adopting Red would be like the daughter. So I feel like that's definitely more of a sibling dynamic.
Yeah. Now I think about it. unless one of them has like been sent off to like study somewhere else or like live somewhere else, because that was like fairly common to go, oh, you've got to go study there or whatever. So if that's happened, then okay. But like now I think about it, we don't want any like, you know,
incest.
We don't want that in this house.
I'm really excited to see them grow up.
Sorry.
So no, that's all I was gonna say.
I kind of wanted to know more about Hector's backstory, because remember in the last book there was the whole thing about him being like the youngest son and him being like sent off.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stop what you were saying.
I was reading the comment. But yes, I do agree with everything Katie says.
What are you saying about Hector?
No, okay, so remember in the last book how he was supposed to be like Conde of the southern whatever land his parents owned, but then he got sent off to become like a guard, so he like lost all that inheritance and stuff like that. I thought that was a really like interesting backstory, and I kind of wish that it would have played more part in his decision to marry Elisa and stuff like that, but we never really get into it.
We never really get into him at all, really, apart from I guess his relationship with Elisa and then a little bit with Alejandro.
I guess now I think about it, him being like, I don't know, is it Conde? Is that what he is?
Yeah, Conde.
Him being that is just so that she can marry him. Because otherwise, if he didn't have a position of power, like politically speaking, she could not marry him. Like it just would not be And it just so happens he's from the south, which is where she needs to strengthen her alliances. And oh my god, it works so well.
Would you guys have preferred that though, if there was like if he didn't have any inheritance and they couldn't marry? Like,
Yes, I would have. I
Yeah.
would have preferred it because they would have
there's
married
actually
either
there's a
way.
book where that happens, but it's kind of a spoiler if I tell you what book it is.
Now I need to know.
Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like the series throughout is so like politically realistic. You know what I mean? Trying to really force her to make the decision she would have to make. And so then for that to happen, it would be completely not realistic. Like she
That's
wouldn't
true.
be able to do that. And so I feel like I would love him to have like no inheritance, whatever, if the series had been a bit more liberal with like not adhering to like, you know, like realism in that regard. But I feel like once it's made that decision, she had to have him have some sort of, you know, inheritance or like powerful position for it to actually happen. But like I wouldn't be complaining if he did. Like I would want that. I would want them to be together at the end regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the fact. Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say the fact that I feel like he has a kind of power is kind of the same thing where it's like we get snippets of his life. Like we get his brother for like a second, and we get little snapshots of it that are kind of just helpful to the plot, but we don't really get more of what his background is.
I read somewhere that there's like 2 mini novellas in this series.
I think there's 3.
Is there 3? I was just wondering, is there any maybe about him?
Yeah, there's one about Hector, there's one about her sister, and I think there's another one. I can't remember what it is though.
I'm on Goodreads right now. I'm trying to look. Because I feel like at least if you say one of them is about him, then at least there's that where you get a bit of his backstory.
It's called The Guard, so I'm pretty sure it will be about his backstory.
Oh my god, there's loads. Hang on. Whoa, sis, what are you doing? The King's Guard, yeah. Okay, so there's one about him when he was younger, like becoming friends with Alejandro. There's one about Mara.
Oh.
And there's one about her sister, and they're all prequels.
Oh, okay.
So I might have to go read these.
Yeah, I'm gonna read them.
Yeah, me too.
Because for some reason, like the audiobooks for the actual series isn't available in Australia, but then the short story audiobooks are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On Script or on Audible?
On Script and Audible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna have to check these out. They're short as well.
Perfect for owls.
Oh, don't mention owls to me. Let's not bring that into this place. I'm not thinking about them right now.
Okay.
No, they are.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how, like, what we've critiqued, if anything's been worked on and changed in Empire of Dreams. I keep wanting to say Empire of Storm, so if I say that,
I keep not getting the name right. I keep thinking Empire of like something else. I keep not getting it right.
There's too many books with that title. Like,
yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say something and I've forgotten. I don't know. Is there any other big points that any of us wanted to talk about? Oh, I can't get the audiobooks for the prequels.
Okay, I didn't understand how, you know, in the previous book where they destroyed the other gatekeeper, like the Saphira, they destroyed it.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
But then she's giving all these like trading rights to the Invierne to go there. But like
I think
because it's underneath, it's and it's broken, isn't it? Or is it just going to be accessible?
Like, is she like, do they think they're gonna get there and get all this power, but they actually won't because it's destroyed? So is she just kind of like having a one-up on them?
I think she's open with them about the fact that like you're gonna have to mine for it. Like,
Okay.
And I guess because Storm's inheriting some power, isn't he now? Because his father gave him. Did you know how he's like a prince? We never talked about this. Storm being a prince and actually.
oh yeah,
Megan, you just want to avoid discussion on Storm.
I'm just gonna go get a piece of toast. You guys carry on.
I think in the last, is that not what we were talking about, Nicole, about Storm? That and because we were talking about him being a prince, but then Meg thought we were talking about him having an affair with Elisa.
Yeah, no affair. But you know, he's a prince, and then like he was exiled or whatever, and then when he came back and Elisa made that deal with his father, he's gonna inherit. I can't remember what it's called, but basically his father's throne. So he must have some sort of power, and then it'll be interesting to see like if the next book's going to be how that relationship between the two nations work now, and like yeah,
especially because Red is half, so there has to be some.
Yeah. I reckon that's going to be a huge part of the story because it's also called Empire, so you'd think it'd be really, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
but that also might be because isn't Elisa like the Empress now?
Yeah, she's the Empress. Yeah.
So it'd be about how the nations are getting along or not getting along.
Yeah. Is it a standalone or is it start of another series?
It's standalone.
The Goodreads said it's a standalone.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if it's not.
Yeah. Okay. Should we? Is there anything else anyone wants to say? Like any other topics, or should we get into discussing the next book, or is there anything else? I'm trying to think.
I had something in my mind before, but I think I've forgotten.
I'm trying to think as well. I feel like there was something. I don't know. Oh, was anyone sad that I've forgotten her name? Someone did die. And someone did die.
Oh, her nurse.
Yeah, her nurse died. And
Wait, her nurse died? I forgot.
We were all like, no one died. Yeah,
Zima?
she died.
Is that how you say it?
Wait, I think I read over that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, she died.
Oh, I completely forgot.
Okay.
No one died.
That wasn't as impactful because she wasn't there for like the entire book.
Yeah, and I was really annoyed at her from the last book.
They left, and they left off on a bad note, and then it happened, and then it wasn't talked about.
Yeah, like I think either she should have been at some point throughout the book appearing again, because like it would have been impactful if she had been with us from the first book.
Yeah, and if they fixed their relationship before she died, so then we feel bad for her.
Yeah, or even just Elisa after she died going like, I'm so sad we hadn't resolved our issues. But then she was like, no, time to get married. Do you know what I mean? Like she just was not bothered.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jimena's not here to marry Hector off to my sister anymore.
Oh dear. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like, I can't believe we all forgot that she died. Katie,
I finished it this morning. I don't remember that at all. I finished it this morning. How did I not?
This poor old woman dived in, and we were all like, who? I can't believe we forgot about that. Oh my god, I feel kind of bad, you know.
I feel bad.
Simone, are you searching to try and find where it happens?
Yeah, I don't know. Cause
it happened at like the very end.
At the very end, they were like getting married.
right before that.
I remember her dying. I feel, was it just like a paragraph or something? I might have just overlooked it.
Because it was like really short.
Yeah, and it wasn't talked about afterwards, so I think that says a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Going back to the short
Right.
stories, I find it really interesting that there's a short story on Mara because I feel like we got a lot of information on her.
Mm.
Like I would have preferred Cosme or
Cosme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have
I like
preferred
Dylan
Cosmo.
or
over.
even like Tristan from the second
Oh
book.
yeah, I
or
loved Conde Tristan.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
So,
I think
yeah,
I have a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
to try and find
Um,
them, but I can't. What are
Yeah,
you gonna
so
say?
like, the summary for the next book says Elisa's greatest enemy does da 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 da. So who do we think her greatest enemy is?
Okay, yeah, let's get into theories for this now. Let's get into theories. Her greatest enemy. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna try and find the sentence where it says that, so I can like. Are you on Goodreads?
Yeah, it was on Goodreads.
I can't find it. I don't know. Her greatest enemy. I don't know who that would be.
Okay, let me read the sentence.
Her greatest enemy. It says that she might make some new enemies. Red may make some new enemies. Am I just not?
Also, what did you think of when Red announced her name?
I thought that was cute, you know? That was so cute.
It was cute.
But what do you expect when you tell a child to name themselves?
Yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think, like, also she's a kid who hasn't really, like, obviously had much joy in her life.
Yeah.
So, like, I was just like, oh my God, you're getting to be a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was,
Yeah.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
for her.
Cute.
It was cute.
Yeah. Okay, this is the sentence. It said, in a stunning political masterstroke, the Empress's greatest rival blocks the adoption, and Red is left with no family and no future. Greatest rival.
Oh, yeah, the Empress is great.
I'm curious though because Red's 16, so obviously it's been a good few years. So have they been trying to do this adoption for all this time, or did this happen like shortly after the book? So now Red's like out there.
I'm surprised she didn't adopt her like right after while she's still a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So maybe that did. Maybe it's one of those situations like we start off with she's young, like in the prologue, and then it goes to when she's 16 and.
Yeah, but it
I
says
don't know.
16-year-old Red can hardly believe her luck. Then, in a stunning political so it says she's 16 when that happens, unless the synopsis is wrong.
But then what has she been doing since she's what, 8 years old?
Yeah, I think
At the
like
end of this
10 maybe.
book.
Yeah, 10, something
Yeah.
around that.
So it's been at least 6 years.
Yeah.
Mhm. I feel like Red and Storm liked each other. So what if she grew up with Storm, like in Vierne and stuff, when Storm was being prince or king or whatever he is, because she's like half too, right? So maybe she was sent to prove to people that the two different people can get along.
Yeah, Katie says maybe Cosme or Elisa's sister tensions might have risen within the Empire because it says rival, not enemy, which is a good point.
Yeah,
So maybe,
I was thinking that too.
maybe her sister, because of like the line of succession, maybe she's able to block it somehow. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think Storm and her sister can have kids.
They can't, no.
Yeah,
And so
they said that, right?
they can pick from, like, if Elisa has kids, they can pick from that line to carry on the succession. So maybe it's
Why
something
can't
to
they
do
have
with that.
kids?
Because the way their races mix, they can't have kids. So the way
Oh no, they can have kids, but I don't think their kids can have kids.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the line would stop with their children.
Oh.
Because like it's like they
Did it talk about that in the books?
Yeah. They talk about when they were speaking about Red. So like, because obviously Red is mixed between the two.
Yeah.
So she can't have kids.
Red can't have kids. Yeah. So maybe something to do with that means that she's able to block it. I don't know. Wow. Okay. Should we get into more? What other theories do we have?
What do you want to happen?
I don't know. I'm pretty much up for anything.
Yeah.
I just like, I want it to feel different in terms of like, I just want it to feel very different to these ones because I want them, they have very different personalities. And so I want the voice to feel different. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to feel like I'm reading like another one of Elisa's stories, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the bits where they're at the like the castle, not castle, it's not the right word, but you know, at the home. So like
You like the court politics.
Yeah, I like the court politics. So that's the word. So I want like a lot to happen there. Maybe I saw like she tries to get into the royal guard. So maybe like she gets some training from Hector. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I want them to be like a bit not slower, but you know how in the previous books it kind of feels like they go places and then just come back and they don't like there's not much like exploration of that place going on. So I kind of want it to be like maybe like a bit slower in the sense that we get to know characters more before they just like disappear.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also want more of Rosario.
Yeah.
Because he was actually hardly in the books, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What about you guys? What do you want?
Yeah, more Rosario. I feel like more of the other characters. Like I'd love if we got more Cosme and yeah, just so they just didn't really feel like a plot device, honestly. That's what I kind of want. I also kind of want to know more about the aftermath, like especially with like Storm's Kingdom and how that panned out. Or like if there's like maybe a little bit more about the magic. I don't know if we're going to get that though because it's not Elisa's story and
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I do want more Rosario, especially because I thought he was going to die at the end of this one. I really thought as soon as they got back that they would find out that he died. But now he's not. That I hope that he's in this one. And also, I kind of want Red to be more of like a fighter.
Yeah.
Elisa was a lot more of a negotiator in a sense.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want Red to be more at like the forefront of like fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think she will be because like kind of joined the Royal Guard and stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually also thought that Rosario was gonna die because I thought this Red is gonna be like a replacement character for him. Because when we get back, Rosario would be dead. That's what I thought.
Yeah, like I hope she starts some fights. Like I hope she gets into like, you know, a lot of fights with people in the Royal Guard or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to I'm trying to look at the synopsis and see if there's anything more. I don't know. But it like I don't know if Rosario is gonna be in it. Because it goes, as danger closes in, it'll be up to Red and her new friends. And so I assume that's people she's met through training in the Royal Guard. So like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Rosario's a prince, so he's not gonna be in the Royal Guard.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. I wonder. Hang on. People have read it because some people got like arcs and stuff.
Oh, what did they say?
I'm trying to have a look, but I don't want any spoilers. Oh my god, someone DNF'd it. Ah! We go Oh, okay. Do we want spoil? This isn't a spoiler, but do we want me to say stuff, or do we not want me to say? Okay.
Yeah, I want you to say stuff. Is that okay?
Someone says it was refreshing to discover that Red wouldn't have any romantic entanglements in this standalone companion. Instead, she had really solid, nuanced relationships with the men in the story, including Hector and Rosario, who, okay. So, like, she has, like, maybe a strong, like, brother-sister kind of relationship with Rosario and probably, like, a father figure relationship with Hector, but she doesn't have any, like, romantic relations, which I think is really nice.
Oh, and I've also just found one that says this book flashes between past and present perspectives. We see what Brand endured before meeting Elisa and all the trauma she experienced and now knowingly carries and also unknowingly carries and how she's coping. Okay, so
yeah, and
seems
another
like
one
we've got dual timeline.
Yeah, another one I found says like this is not Elisa's story. This is squarely read with backup from Rosario. So he's like the secondary character.
Yeah.
We live. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It says she's rocky and brash. Yeah. This is what we want. This is what we want. Oh my god. Okay.
So many people comment just going, oh my god, I'm so excited. It's like, I want to review.
Oh my god, we were just sitting here reading the Goodreads. I'm trying to find anything else that's really interesting. Anything else? Yeah, okay. So like completely platonic relationship with Rosario. Okay, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I hope I can get it.
Yes. When I pre-ordered it on Amazon today, it was like, we cannot tell you when we will deliver this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm thinking maybe I should cancel my pre-order, get my money back, and just like buy the audiobook or buy the ebook.
I couldn't find audiobook or ebook. Like I couldn't find it anywhere. I could only find the hardcover.
Amazon is only shipping like essentials for us, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, it was doing that for us, and then I was looking at some like random books a couple of days ago, and they were saying like it would deliver it. I mean, I have Prime, so I don't know if that affects it, but it was saying it would deliver it in like 4 days. Do you know what I mean? Like ordinary books. And so I don't know. What did Katie say about I think I would like a bit more explanation of the magic of the world, maybe things different. Yeah, I would like that too.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's an ebook available for Empire Dreams in the UK? Yeah, I can only see the physical book. I couldn't find the ebook. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Because I've read it all on ebook, all the other books I haven't had physically, but I was like, I'm just gonna look at the hardcover. I'm not spending much of my money in isolation anyway, so I can justify it.
Yeah,
I think the cover for Empire Dreams is the prettiest out of all.
Yeah, I love all the new covers though.
Yeah.
Really
if I could have got the new covers in the UK, like the new designs that go along with this, I would have got them, but I couldn't. I could only get. Nicole has seen how ugly the UK covers are for this.
Is it the one with the circle and the gem with the face in it?
No. It's even uglier. I've got those ones.
It's even worse than that.
Those are the ones I'm talking.
No, it's worse than that.
I'll get it up.
And I was like, I'm just not going to buy that. I'm just not going to spend £10 on that. I just can't. So I got the ebook. Can I read any more reviews before we go? Is there anything that's interesting? Oh, hang on. Someone else speak while I read this.
Ray Carson has another series. Have you guys heard of that one?
No.
I don't love it as much, but it's set in the gold rush in America, and it's about a girl who can it's one of those sensing powers again. She can sense gold.
Oh, I found it. It's the Walk on Earth a Stranger. I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm just trying to find the edition.
A lot of people are saying like PTSD is very prominent in this book as well.
That's the cover that it has.
Oh gosh.
Yikes.
Wow.
Right? I was like, I just can't do that to myself. I just don't want that staying on my shelf. Even though I have some bad stuff on there.
Look at this one. I have no idea what language this is for, but
Oh.
But wait, why is she white? Right?
gosh.
Like she's not white.
No, she's not. She's
Yeah,
really
it's
dark.
definitely
It
more
says that
like a
so many
Spanish
times.
inspired.
That's bad. That's bad that they just put a white chick on the cover.
Yeah, they did it again. Look.
What the fuck?
She looks like a warrior. Like,
Sis, this isn't Celtic. This book is not Celtic inspired. What the hell?
what on earth is this one?
Oh my god. This when I was hang on, show it and then nah, this is some straight up.
Is she reading?
tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Why?
When I was doing my last video where I was showing Tom like he had to guess like the plot of the books I was going to read, and I had to get this up on like Google Images, and he was like, why are there so many bad covers for this book, like so many different bad covers?
She's like missing half her top.
What is going on? I'm sorry, 2012 was not that long ago. What is going on? What the hell?
You know, this is what you should do. You should do it with foreign covers with someone. Like, 'cause you could either do it with
Oh my god.
yeah, right. 'Cause you can either do it with another booktuber because like they won't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you hide the author, like and try
Look at
to
the
guess
Japanese
what it is.
one. Sorry.
What is going on? I'm sorry. This series has been subject to so many bad covers. Like, it really has not had any respect. No.
Okay, is there anything else? Because we've been going for an hour.
We have been going for a long time. I haven't really got anything else. I'm just so excited for the next book. I hope it can arrive.
I know I had something to say, but I can't remember what it was, so it mustn't have been that important.
Yeah, no, I'm just so excited. Like, I don't know, I really loved Red's character. So, and the fact that we found out that she doesn't have any romantic relationship, like Sis is just doing it on her own. I think that's just gonna be really fun. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how she does the 2 timelines, because sometimes that can be not the greatest.
Yeah, from what I've read on the reviews, it seems like it's flashing back to before she even met Elisa.
Yeah,
like
which is good, because our complaint here is backstories.
Yeah,
not getting enough of them.
So I think she's experiencing a lot of PTSD and like lashing out a lot in the present day, and so then the flashbacks are kind of to show what she's been through and why she's acting in the way that she is. I mean, I've only read a couple of reviews, so I might be wrong, but I think that's so. I think in that case, like, it's not only are we learning more about what she's been through, but then it's also providing context for like what is exactly happening in the here and now. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think it should work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Maybe we should just end by saying, like, we'll keep everyone updated with the live for the next one and like what's happening, because obviously with the situation right now, we're not sure if we're all going to be able to get our hands on it. But
yeah, we'll keep. I mean, the Twitter is linked in the description now, and so we'll keep everyone updated on there. But
it will be on Ishi's channel. Wait, Ishi's channel.
Yeah, oh wait. And everyone's channels are linked down below as well. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, go subscribe. Set the bell notification. But yeah, I think that's everything, right?
Yeah,
we've done our job. We've done it. We're fun.
we never run out of stuff to say, do we?
No, we've overrun. I need to go.
We do.
Okay, so is that us done?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and we'll keep everyone updated on the Twitter, but that's it. So I guess we say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.